morning all. Today we'll discuss about blockchain technology. This is another vertical from computer science department. So first of all, you should know what is actually a blockchain. So blockchain is not a cryptocurrency. First of all, this is a myth in maximum of who knows about this blockchain, but that is a myth. Blockchain is not a cryptocurrency. Means that is an application of cryptocurrency. That is one of the application. That is not the only application. Blockchain is a technology which is based upon cryptography. Means that is a part of a security and privacy mechanism. So blockchain is actually based upon some cryptographic algorithms. One of them is hash code. Using hash code, we achieve this security in transactions, and that is used for managing the transaction in a secured way. Okay, so we can track the transaction that has been made for a particular field. The field can be cryptocurrency first, majorly used. Second, it can be a business transaction. It can be a healthcare transaction. It can be agriculture transaction. It can be a money transaction. So this is one of the technology which is based upon decentralized. So why the question is that why this is becoming so popular. So we'll discuss one by one with the definition, with other things. We will complete this particular domain. So first of all, that is actually considered as distributor. So we have two kind of ledgers in today's scenario. One is centralized, and second is distributed. So centralized is actually used in banks, and we consider bank as one of the secured area or the secure party which is actually managing the transactions, which is actually a legal or authenticated entity which will be used to authenticate our transactions. Suppose we are paying someone some amount of money, then if we are paying that through a bank, then that will be considered as one of the most secure transactions that we have made, and nobody can deny from this particular transaction that you have not made that particular transaction. Similarly, if we are not using banks for the same thing, then blockchain is another way which actually uh, use this distributed kind of mechanism. So I'll show with an example that is actually first slide shown in this particular slide. That suppose there are 5 different nodes, or you can consider as also the bank account holders. So there's no central entity. There's not a central entity which is considered as bank in banking scenario who is actually connected with each other, but everyone is connected with each other. There is no central authority like bank. Each one of them will have its own information as well other information. So if I'll show you this particular slide, so you can see in this slide that here if there are 6 persons who are having their accounts, who are having uh, authority to do a particular transaction in a platform. Here this is an example of a blockchain platform. So if these are 6 users who are having who are part of a particular blockchain, then each one of them will have the complete copy of all the transaction that has been made on that particular platform. So you can see person A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 person is having same copy of the ledger. Okay. So what is the advantage of that? What is the disadvantage in centralized one when you are having a banking system? Then what is the disadvantage there? That all monopolies is just actually taken by this bank only. If bank server crashed or bank got some security issue, then all the data will be destroyed. But here, if suppose two of these person data has been stolen or that has been deleted or corrupted, then you can find the same thing in some other platform also. Other person will also have the same copy. You can receive from that particular person. Okay, so this is another advantage of using this decentralized one. Means your data is available on multiple clients and there is no central authority, so data lost probability will also be less. Now the second one. So I've just shown with an example that what is actually distributed ledger. So this is ledger records transactions such as the exchanges or the assets among the participants in the network. Means all these persons who are the part of this particular network will have the copy of the complete transaction. So there is a minimum chances for losing the data and to or to just deny that this particular transaction has not been done, because the same copy is available for multiple persons. We will talk about cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin is having billions of users, so the same copy is available for billions of users. So it is not possible for a hacker or attacker to destroy or to steal or to change the data of all those billions of users. Okay, to change the transaction you should have at least 50% data need to be 50% user, 50% stakeholders or the connected client should be removed or manipulated. That is not possible. A hacker cannot change the data of if suppose there are 1 billion users of cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin, then there is not a possibility for anyone to just hack the account of 50 million users. Not even so this is not possible. Half of the billion users account cannot be changed by this particular hacker. So that's why this is considered as more robust one. So that advantages of these distributed ledgers are it can be used without a central authority. So all of the users are the owner of that particular transaction. So individual or entities with no basis of trust each other. Okay, so there is no third party required to make a trust on that, because everyone is a part of that particular ledger. It can be used to create value or the issue assets. Okay, so it says that this is not only for money transactions, that can be used for any kind of businesses or assets management where you want more security and more privacy. It can be used to transfer value or the ownerships of the assets. So uh, I'll uh, I'll just show this particular thing with an example. That is a data, but I'll tell you that if suppose, as you know that in real sector there is a lots of frauds are there. Means a single owner can sell that same property to multiple owners, because to find the truthness of actual truthness or the background of that particular property is not so easy. Means that take time, and that is also not possible. Uh, you can say that it is not also gen always genuine that whatever record you have find is genuine for that particular property. But if that is blockchain based, then nobody can uh, delete, modify the data, history data, and whoever was the actual owner of that property, that will just have this particular one. Since you can get the actual owner of that particular property, and you can also see the back record of that particular property from that particular date where that has been started to owned by the different users, owners. It can be used to record those transfers of values. Same point. Okay, so this is also the same kind of point. Okay, this is very difficult to alter because first of all, it is based upon high uh, high level of security protocols. Second, the same thing is available for all users. So changing the record of one or two or hundred of or thousands of users will not make the changes in all others. So that is not possible also. It can be used to allow owners of the assets to exercise certain rights. Okay, so you can change the rights if you are the owner of that particular property. Then you are the only person who can just change, uh, who can just transfer that particular one to another one, whether that is a cryptocurrency, whether that is a money, whether that is a property, whether that is a retail kind of asset. So what is a blockchain? So before moving to this particular one, I will show you an example, live example on a particular website. So this is, you'll see this. You can also note this particular URL. Okay, where you can see, if I first of all I'll just refresh that so that I can start from the very first. First of all, as the name suggests, blockchain is a chain of different blocks. So here in this example, I have 5 blocks. So this is not my website. This is a website which is provided by a demonstration purpose of this blockchain. So in this particular example, you can find that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 blocks in this blockchain. Okay, as you can see, the first block is having 0000 as multiple zeros. It depends upon the key size. So it means that this block is not containing any previous block. So that's why its hash code is 0. Okay, and this is also known as whoever is the first block of that blockchain is called a genesis block. Okay, now this is the block number. Nonce is a random number which is provided to the miners. This is a typical number that based upon this number you will get this hash code. So these are predefined things. Now suppose uh, the data that I want to, I'm not talking about right now as a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I'm just talking about that how you can secure your digital data using blockchain. So suppose this is the data. Okay, now I'll show you that how the manipulation is not possible in these kind of things. So suppose this is the data, this is the nonce. Based upon this data and the nonce value, you will get this number generated. So if I click on this mine button, so based upon the combination of these two, the algorithm is there, SHA-256 algorithm is there. Based upon these two as an input, it has generated this hash code. The same will be transferred to next block. So whatever is there, that has been transferred to the next block. Okay, because this is a chain, so every time the next block will have the hash of previous block. So you can see that this hash has been transferred to this one. Now I have updated the, I've just given the second transaction details, second digital data in this particular. This data can be anything. That can be your bank account details. That can be the transaction that you have done, to whom you have just made the transaction, who was the creditors, who was the debitors, what is the account number. All these things can be placed here. So this is actually contains the transaction detail. Okay. So similarly, suppose this second block is also having some transaction detail. Now, if I'll again mine it, it will take much more time compared to this one. Okay, and you will get a new hash, and whatever hash you will have, that will automatically transfer to this one. Okay, so that has been done. Now, similarly, I'll just take one more. I just even this one. I'll go for 3 blocks only. I'll not go for all 5 blocks. In these 3 blocks, you'll get the required details. Now, suppose this is the data that has been placed in these blocks by the blockchain owners. Whoever just made the transaction in this particular blockchain, they have placed some data, and that has been stored in this chain. Chain, why we are calling that a chain? Because each and every block will have the hash code of previous block. So this hash code is the block hash code of previous block. Similarly, this one will have the hash code of previous block. Now, why that is secure? Why the manipulation is not possible? Because suppose someone is just make a change there, that in place of it is, suppose someone just change the name. Okay, now you can see that initially all these 3 were in green color, but now they have been changed to the pink color because they have just identified that there is some changes which is not possible. So you can see now if you'll mine this, so this hash code will be changed. Okay, this hash code will be changed. Okay, So all these hash codes has been changed, but those are not previous one. ये पहले वाले hash code नहीं, these are not previous hash codes. So this has been properly mined by the attacker, but others are not mapped with that particular hash code. Okay, so these two blocks are now invalid. Okay, these two blocks are now invalid. So to make all these blocks valid, the users or the attacker who have just made this attack need to change all blocks. Okay, so suppose this chain is containing only 3 or 5 blocks, but we have worked on only 3 blocks, so that is easy task for any attacker. But when a blockchain will have millions of blocks, billions of blocks, then to mine all these blocks will take 100 years, 200 years, which is not possible. Okay, so that's why if we'll make changes in any block, suppose I'll just make changes here. So they'll affect, suppose I'll just make this one, will I'll just mine. So now suppose I'll just make a change here. So others block will be invalid. जहाँ से wherever you will make some changes in that particular block, the rest of the blocks of that blockchain will be invalid. Okay, so that's why this particular kind of concept technology will helpful to store data, digital data in a secured way. Okay, transaction is what? Digital transaction is what? Digital transaction is also a collection of digital data. Okay, so we need to make that particular things secured. So hashing is one of the algorithm which will be used in this kind of transaction. Now I'll move to the next one. So blockchain, as I told you, that it is actually a collection of chains, blocks. Different blocks are connected together using a particular hash code sequence. Okay, the technology has been emerged in 1991, but it got popularity in 2008 when a writer, I'll just show you the name of that particular paper. So this is the person, Satoshi Nakamoto, who have just written this paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and it has been published in 2008. This particular person is actually not identified by anyone. This is a kind of virtual character, but nobody knows him. Nobody has seen the photograph of this particular person. Okay, because he has not revealed his identity. Okay, he has just written this paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, in 2008, and due to that particular one, that and he has used blockchain technology. Okay, and using this blockchain technology, if I'll show you this paper, if that is available on internet. It is also available on ResearchGate. This is this paper. Okay, that was one of the most popular research article in digital world. So here just propose that how transactions can be, blocks can be used, cryptography can be used, hash functions can be used to make transactions more secured and this error free, without any altering in this particular data set, without any hacking kind of things. Okay, so this 9-page document was one of the popular document in last few years. Okay, so he has proposed this new concept. Uh, Concept was already there, but he has used this concept in his popular cryptocurrency blockchain. And you know that blockchain uh, is one of the most popular asset in the financial world, where lots of investors are taking interest in this. Even they are taking interest more than stock market. I'll show you a site where you can see this coin ranking. You can see that Bitcoin value is today's in current uh, price. Latest price is $62,000. In Indian rupees, that is approximately 50, 47, 48 lakhs of rupees. Okay, and you can see all these are cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is on the second one. Based upon the value, market value, you can see that market value of Bitcoin is 1.17 trillion. Okay, which is just near about half of the Indian total GDP. India GDP is approximately 2.8 billion, 2.8 trillion, approximately 3 trillions dollars. So that is also in dollars. Okay, China's GDP approximately 20 plus trillions of dollars. Okay, so you can see that so many. You are also hearing about Dogecoin, Shibu Inu coin. So all these are some of the popular Ripple cryptocurrencies. Those uh, means those has been some most popular businessmen like Elon Musk. Those have also shown their interest in these cryptocurrencies. So we were here. So using this distributed blockchain and census-based mechanism, I'll just tell you that consensus-based mechanism क्या होता है, what is and how that is useful. Okay, so why do we need blockchain? I've told you that to make secured payments, to make secure transactions, to make secured uh, changing of ownerships, we need to use that kind of technology, which is fraud-free. Okay, which will be efficient, which will be removal, vulnerabilities will not be there. Okay, so I've told you that this particular paper was one of the important article who have just made this particular blockchain so popular. So just read this particular definition. So blockchain is simple platform for recording and verifying transactions so that unauthorized user cannot delete them later. Okay, so it actually provides a secure platform where you can just do any kind of transactions, digital data transfer. Blockchains are immutable. Okay, only digital ledger system implemented in a distributed fashions. Okay, so there is no single owner. That is also one of the biggest reason that why cryptocurrencies are not making much more popularity, means those are not gaining legality, because no one is actually a single owner for this particular platform. So it is also difficult to track or to find out, although this is more easy in compared to banking system, but that'll take time. That'll Everyone need to be more technical, digital technically expert to get the complete information about that particular. And you know that in a government system, in Indian government system, the in this crime management system, those people are not so technically advanced like the computer science engineers, like the computer science students. Those are, so that's why they are afraid about these particular things. But if they will be more educated, they will be more technical, then they will also get to adapt this particular one. Distributed to all managed nodes in the network, the ledger permanently record in sequential chain of the cryptographic hash-linked blocks. So as I've shown you that all blocks are connected with a hash code, and all these informations will be stored in a linear sequential chain. These are some important keywords that will be used in this particular topic. We have used transaction is actually something where we are transferring something from one person to another person. Cryptography is a technique to just encrypt or decrypt the digital data Contract is actually terms and conditions to we want based upon those we want to give certain transactions. Hashing is that a particular algorithm. I'm just telling my own words. I'm not reading these particular sentences. Hashing is actually an algorithm which will be used to generate some unique value so that we can find out that whether the next transaction is comparable for the previous one or not. Digital signature is actually another uh, electronic information, secured information about a particular person, so that we can find out that this particular transaction is done by that authorized person or not. Okay, so this is a kind of private key that is provided by the digital forensic government for a particular entity after certain verifications. Okay, you can easily get this digital signature. You have to do certain uh, processes. You have to follow certain steps. You have to do some verifications, and if you will just successfully verify those things, you will get a device which is like a pen drive. Okay, you can use that particular pen drive to sign your documents like a PDF files, like a Word documents, like your audio video, using that particular pen drive. Okay, I'll not discuss these fundamentals. I have already told you maximum things about this particular one. This is one of the important ones, that every transaction is in each block is visible publicly. It means everyone can see that who have made this particular transaction. If I'll show you that, if I'll get this, yes. So I've already opened this particular one, that you can see that today, I'll refresh it, that this particular hash code has been generated, and they have just transferred this much of amount of BTC. Okay. Everything is, if I just click this one, I'll get more information. Okay, who have just paid this, to whom that money has been paid, but we will not get the actual information. We'll get only the address. As we have bank account numbers, we'll get only this information. But this information can be tracked if the digital forensic system cybersecurity cell want to know the complete information about, they can know that. But everything related to that particular address is visible. That from this particular hash, the value has been, this particular address, the value has been, the amount has been forwarded or credited to this particular value. Now you can see that these are unconfirmed transactions. TX means transaction. So these all are unconfirmed transactions. Now the question arises that who will confirm this? As in the case of banking system or centralized system, the bank is the only authority. Like if you are making a payment from one SBI account to another one, so SBI is the only person, only entity who will just authorize those things. And after that, RBI. But in this case, who will authenticate these amounts? Who will authenticate these transactions? So the answer is miners. You may also have heard about these terms, that Bitcoin miners. So as we have Bitcoin miners, we have Ethereum miners, we have Ripple miners, all digital currencies, the cryptocurrencies. Digital currency and cryptocurrency are the two different things. You should also remember this particular one. Okay, so to authorize these cryptocurrencies transactions, cryptocurrency miners are there. So what the miners do? Miners take these nonce. Now I'll tell you what is actually nonce. The nonce is given to the person. Okay, the nonce is given to for each transaction. For each transaction, a nonce is associated. Now, using this nonce, a person, the miner need to find out that particular string, or reverse is also true. To given a particular transaction, the miner need to find out this number in such a way that this hash code should be minimum. Okay, what minimum? Minimum will be, as you can see, that 000 A1. This is one number. The another number is 000A. Another number is 00A12. So who is the minimum number? The minimum number will be that particular one who will have maximum leading zeros. Okay, who have first maximum digits as zeros. That will be the minimum one. So in the same case, the miner who will have, based upon that knowns, and knowns will be auto-generated. Based upon this data, this value need to be find out. For that, this particular number should be minimum. Okay, as I'll take an example. Let's suppose I have just given that you have to find out 28 into x is equals to minimum. Okay. So suppose there are 1000 miners who are solving this problem. So in 1000 miners, you have to find out this value as minimum as 1. So 1000 persons will give their values, and the minimum values is the value of x and whatever they are getting after calculation. So suppose one is, I'll take a small number, not a small, the simpler one, so that calculation will be easy. So suppose one have given that my number is 5. So that will be 150. Another as is given that my number is 8. That will be, because no one can see others number, we will give random number based upon their calculations. Okay, so the miner who will have minimum value, that value will be considered, that 5 is the best suitable values by provided all those other miners, and this transaction, this miner will be considered one, this miner's transaction will be approved, and he or she, the miner, will get reward. Okay, earlier that reward was 1 Bitcoin for per miner. Earlier that was 2.5. I'll show you that. Day by day it is reducing as the number of Bitcoins are reducing day by day. Means the number of Bitcoins are fixed. So the remaining Bitcoins who are not mined, those are decreasing day by day. So Bitcoin mining reward. So the amount for new Bitcoin released with each mined Bitcoin block is called Bitcoin block reward. So the block reward is halved every 210,000 blocks. Okay, in 2009 it was 50 Bitcoins per block. So whoever will mine that particular block will get 50 Bitcoins, and you can just imagine that 50 Bitcoins in today's scenario is how much. So if I just tell you, it's 46 lakhs. So if I just give you 50 here, so you can see that 23 crores. Okay, 23 crores. So whoever will win that particular block mining will get 23 crores in that 2009. Okay, in 2018 it was 12.5, but in now it is approximately 6.25. 6.25 is still a good value. So agar we just give 6 here, so that will be approximately 2 crores 76 lakh. It's approximately 3 crores because I'll just give 6.5, so 3 crores. So 3 crores amount will be given to that particular person who will just mine this block. So you can imagine that why the blockchain mining is so popular, just because of high much of award provided to the miners. Okay, so that is one of the main reason for getting this mining popularity. And if you remember, 4 or 5 years back, the mining was one of the important job role or the side business for the persons who are interested in cryptocurrency. And but this is not so easy. You have to invest lots of money just to buying these resources. The mining rigs are there where you have to purchase such a large high efficient hardware which will be cost to you 50 lakhs 60 lakhs. The minimum rig that will be for mining rig for Bitcoin is approximately 5 to 6 lakh. I'll just show you the cost of that also. So this is approximately, you can see 8,15,000. Okay. These are the rigs, means these are GPUs in a particular combinations. 10, 15 GPUs you will just connect together and you will start mining the Bitcoins. Okay. So these are the reasons that why it becomes popular, but it is also costly. So now the people's combining uh, combined together, and they are just working in a pool. They'll share their resources, and whatever profit they'll get, they will share equally based upon the percentage of resources they have used in that particular mining. Okay, so all these things is also similar, that for any kind of business transaction you can use Bitcoin. Okay, you can also use cryptocurrencies to transfer your, as you have heard, you may have also heard, some of you may not have heard about that, Elon Musk have also announced in April or May, that he will also take cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Dogecoin to sell their Tesla cars. Okay, so that is actually a future. That'll be available. That'll be normal in next few years, 5 to 10 years. That will be general. Means Bitcoin, using the Bitcoin, you can just sell or purchase them from the retail stores, from major uh, shops. So that is there. That'll be there. These are some important terms: shared ledgers, cryptography, consensus, smart contract, proof of work, proof of stake. So all things is not possible to just cover in this particular lecture, but I'll tell you some important one. Shared ledger is actually a distributed way where each and every person will have the information of complete transaction about that particular blockchain. Okay, suppose if we'll talk about the same fashion in a bank, so each and every person will have the complete ledger of SBI Bank. Whoever has made the transaction to whom, they'll be called considered as shared ledger, where each and every information will be available for each and every user. Cryptography is not directly related to blockchain. It is a already available technology which is used for network security, where we have the concept of encryption and decryption of the network data that is shared through the network. Consensus is another thing. If I have this diagram, I'll show you. So if you see this one again, so there are 6 users of this particular blockchain in a particular block. Suppose these are 6 users. So consensus means if a seventh user want to add, or he or she want to do the transaction in this particular blockchain, so at least more than 50%, means out of these six, four need to be agree on that particular one. If four of them will agree on that particular transaction, then the transaction will consider as to add a block in this blockchain. So that is actually called as consensus algorithm. Smart contract is actually, if I'll show you that also in this diagram, this one. So a smart contract is actually a program, written program, or a written digital logic, which will be shared between two parties, that based upon this particular program, they will share our information with each other, and this program will prove that. Okay, so this kind of things, whatever written program logic is there, that will consider a smart contract. So we came to know when you just study this in a detailed way. I'll also came up with some new session about this smart contracts, proof of work, but I'll tell you in very basics one. Proof of work is, that is there. I'll tell you from this particular one. Else I'll just tell you myself. So proof of work is actually another algorithm. As I've told you that miners are those entity or those persons in that particular uh, blockchain framework, in that cryptocurrency framework, who actually prove that this particular transaction is a valid transaction. Okay, so proof of work is the work that has been given to the miners. Based upon that puzzle, they will just prove that this particular transaction is approved. Proof of stake is another same kind of things which is used for another platform. So these are both are same, but based upon the different platforms. That one of the famous platform is Ethereum, Ethereum Go. Using that, you can just generate your own blockchain. So for different platforms, you have different concepts to approve that particular transaction. Okay, multi-signature is another distributed kind of approach. Okay, and this is another algorithm which is used for detecting that which is actually fraud transaction, which is not. So all those definitions are written there. Whatever I just discussed in these uh, major headings, all these details we use there. You can just read, go through with that particular one. Okay, I've discussed this particular one also. Blockchain transparency. Blockchain transparency. We have discussed certain points in previous slides also, that each transaction is publicly visible. All transaction can be viewed. Okay, one transaction is added, it cannot be deleted from this particular ledger. So this is also one of the beauty of this particular one, that now nobody can deny if he or she has made the transaction in that particular blockchain any point of time. So he or she will not be able to deny from that particular transaction. Okay, I've also shown you that how the blocks are connected with each other. Okay, so you can see that the same diagrams I've shown you on that particular platform. I'll show you again. So if you delete one transaction, then other will be invalid. Okay, other will be invalid because this particular hash is not now this one. The hash is depending upon this and the combination of this and this, nonce and data. Okay, so that will be invalid. Okay, I've also told you that public private key concept is there, although you will not get it right now because you may not have studied the subject of network security and cryptocurrency or cryptography. So that's why. But in digital world, I'll tell you in basics one. In digital world, uh, if if the person want to securely transmit the data from one node to another node, then each and every entity connected to that particular network will have its own public key and private key. Okay, using the public key, he will secure this data, it will encrypt the data, and other users will get that particular data and access that particular data using its private key. Okay, so these are some business benefits: time saving, cost saving, tighter security. Time saving, why? Because you are not moving to the banks. Everything is done automatically using those digital devices. Cost saving, for that, I am not given example here. I'm not given an example here. But what is the cost saving? As you can see in your bank, that for each and every transaction, bank is actually having a fees. Okay, you are considering that this fees is very nominal, but you should also consider that for if you'll see for ATM transaction, if you'll do more than 5 transactions from ATM, then they will charge you 20 rupees. So you can see that if a bank is having 1 billion users, then for transactions through the internet only, they will charge you 20 billion INR. Okay, so that is again a huge amount for the bank, not for us. We are considering that only 20 rupees we have to charge, but you can see that how much revenue they are generating from this particular kind of transactions fees. Okay, tighter security, as we can see that if we change the data of a particular block, then all blocks will be invalid. Enhanced privacy, you can see that in particular in this one, you cannot see the name of that person from which country he just belongs to. You just know the Bitcoin address of that particular person. Okay, although you can find out that, but you have to do rigorous work on that. Okay, everyone cannot see the identity of others one. You just know the Bitcoin address. increased operational efficiency, because this is uh, a digital world. This is totally available on network, so operation that will be available 24/7. Okay, as you can see on this platform, or you have multiple platform where you can do 24/7 trading. But if you see stock market, those are available from Monday to Friday only. Even on holidays like your Diwali holidays, yesterday and today, both the days are holiday for stock market. So you will not be able to do trading on those stock market. But if you are using trading in cryptocurrencies, then those are available 24/7. So operations efficiency will also increase because that will be available for 24/7. Okay, all 365 days in a year. Okay, so all these things we have discussed. Cryptocurrency is one of the use case where blockchain technology has been used. Okay, so over 50 countries right now, and that is the data of 2020. Now 2021, that has been increased. So more than 50 countries are actually using this blockchain technology. Okay, so that is the scope of this cryptocurrencies and this blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Okay, so that's it for this particular concept, blockchain. So you came to know some basics about this blockchain, where the blockchain is actually using. I'll also tell you that blockchain can also be used one of the important major uh, sector in this current scenario, which is healthcare. You know that your healthcare records are one of the important records for you, because you do not want to reveal your disease information, your lab reports to general public. Okay, so you want that only doctors, your hospitals will be able to access those. So that is why blockchain is also one of the important use case in healthcare. That whenever, as you can see, the Practo is one of the application which is used by doctors. Practo app. Okay, my medibuddy, this is another one. So there are some applications, those have already used these blockchains to securely access the records of the patient. Patient will also upload secured way their records to the these particular platforms. Okay, so that's why that is all about this particular session. Okay, the advanced part of this particular one with some real-time implementation we'll discuss in another session. For this session, the basics one we have covered. So all the best. Keep studying this particular one. Keep studying the advanced part. We'll also discuss the advanced part later. All the best.